Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm Nate Zielinski. Guys, tonight is a very special night. Obviously, it's Halloween, so happy Halloween to everybody out there. It's a crazy night for everybody. So we'll keep tonight's show just a little shorter than normal. Again, everybody's kind of busy and got things going on. But guys, on this show, you've been following us since May. We've been talking about big game hunting and everything there is to do with that. Obviously, our big preaching point is hunting public land. We always talk about a 60-40 mix of scouting to hunting. But we've talked about everything with that. Hunting, processing, taxidermy, everything else is out there that we've been talking about. But tonight's a special one, guys. When it comes to archery hunting in general, there's somebody that I've known for many years and somebody that I look up to, and he's a very special friend of mine named Henry Fulmer. Henry here is again, a great friend and an amazing archer, and he's really been around everything to do with archery his entire life. I believe he started getting in the archery world in 1955, just getting out of the Army. But this guy has literally shot for almost every company out there over the last, 50, 60 years. One of his last bows he was shooting was the Bowtech, and he loves it, so we'd love to hear that. But guys, he's literally started off with everything. He's owned a string manufacturing company. He's been a rep for different companies. I mean, you can hear all the kids right now running around for Halloween. But guys, he's literally done everything out there in the archery world. And one of the special things that he's done, actually, in the very first mechanical bow that Bear ever made, guys, this is one of the most popular bows, back in the day. Henry is actually the first person to ever harvest a big game animal with a Bear bow, with a Bear mechanical bow. He's the first one to ever put an animal down. So the list goes on and on and on of the things and accomplishments that Henry has done in his life and in the archery world. And again, it's an honor for myself to know him. So guys, we're actually going to jump out of here, out of studio. We actually roll to a kind of clip that we shot just the other day. Again, we don't have good enough internet at Henry's house. Henry wanted to do the overall interview at his house so we can see all his bows, see everything that he's done in his life. So we're going to jump to that interview right now. But guys, this is something you must watch. Sit down, tag your friends, comment your friends, bring everybody in here, guys. If you are an archery hunter, if you are an archery shooter, if you ever have been or ever looking to get other people involved, guys, tonight's the night to watch this clip. Literally, it's history right here of the entire archery world, guys. So we're going to jump to that clip right now. I hope you enjoy it, guys. And comment your questions here. I'll get with Henry and we'll get all those questions answered. All right, guys, Nate Zielinski here. I am literally standing in history. I'm with a great friend, an honor to call you my friend, Henry Fulmer. Henry invited us into his house. When I think of archery, literally, obviously, people not going to know me for archery. I am a hunter, and I use a bow as a weapon. I'm not a competition shooter. I just love archery hunting. When I think about archery, I think about you. I've known you off and on for 10, 12 years. And again, when you think archery, you talk to people about archery, your name comes up. And you invite us into your home. It's an honor, guys. It seems like everybody across the country right now is releasing new bows. It's the time of year where all the new equipment comes out, but obviously it started somewhere. So, guys, you're talking to Henry right here, who we'll show you pictures of. I mean, right there, you're standing with Fred Bear. I mean, you've hunted all across the country. You've hunted with all the elite hunters and athletes within that realm. But, Henry, I want you to, with all the new bows coming out, they all started somewhere, and I want you to walk us through. And we're standing right now on literally a wall of history. So, how did you start off in archery? Where did you come from? When were you first starting to get in the archery world? I mean, archery has been your entire life. Tell everybody here at these cameras, where did it start? Where did you start with archery?
Well, when I got out of the Army, a friend of mine who I hunted a lot, one of my best friends, we grew up together, went to school together. He got out and he had started bow hunting when I got out of the Army, he said, hey, I found a new way to hunt. You got to get a bow. So we went to...
And what year is this?
1955.
55, okay, perfect.
Just got out of the Army. So we went to Kinsey's Orchard out in Mountjoy, Pennsylvania, and I bought my first outfit. For $50, I bought a bow, a dozen arrows, broadheads, a quiver, arm guard, and a glove.
50 bucks.
And that bow up there.
Yep. We'll pay it, guys, here in just a second. Go check it out. That's awesome.
So that's where I started, and I became addicted immediately. And then I took up tournament shooting, competition shooting, and I just loved it.
Yep.
And went from there. I did a lot of hunting. I went to work for Bear Archery Company in 1969.
But you had a shop even before that, correct?
Yeah.
So, again, we all get addicted, and we love it, and we start hunting. And you started a pro shop. And what year's the pro shop started?
1967. My friend Sherwood Chalk and I opened an archery pro shop.
Yep.
And we were only together about 3 months, and he went to work for Bear Archery Company.
Okay.
And
you were working a corporate job as well as running the bow shop.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And corporate found out I had a business on the side, and they said I can't do that. They own me. So I said I got to do something.
You got to
else.
do something different. Left that world.
So I got an interview with Bear Archery Company and went to work for Bear Archery Company. That was my start in archery sales.
Okay.
And I did a lot, like I say, a lot of competition shooting.
Yep.
Shot in 9 national tournaments.
Okay.
And loved it. Did everything and I could do in archery.
Yeah. Yeah. Hunted across the world,
Hunted
sold bows, worked for the companies, and shot professionally and as well as hunted.
Hunted with Fred Bear, Tom Jennings, and a lot of other elite bow hunters.
Absolutely. What was I mean? What was that like? I mean, getting into it so early on. I mean, everybody nowadays has TV shows, has bow hunting stuff. I mean, you were the start. You were the forefront of it. I mean, what was it like hunting with Fred Bear?
Oh my! I explained Fred when people asked me what kind of a person was Fred Bear. Fred Bear was the kind of a person he could talk to anybody in any walk of life and make them feel comfortable in 15 minutes like you'd known him forever.
No kidding.
He was a fantastic person. They broke the mold when Fred Bear.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. That's awesome, guys. Now, real quick, I got to walk you through here. Henry, can you walk us through what we're standing in front of right here? I mean, give us the history. Talk to us about this gear.
Can you grab that one there?
I can. We'll slide these out there. Perfect.
This was the start of the compound bow. A guy named Hollis Allen invented the bow, got a patent on it.
Roughly what year?
In the mid-60s.
Mid-60s, okay.
This is the mid-60s compound.
Yep, yep.
And a little history on this, because I was kind of in on the ground floor of this bow.
Okay.
My friend Sherwood Schock at the time was editor of TAM magazine, which later became Archery World.
And that was like the forefront of the magazine world for archery.
Yeah, in mid-60s.
Okay.
So Tom Jennings was, he wrote articles for the magazine.
Okay.
Hollis Allen
Yep.
got a hold of Sherwood and wanted, what he really wanted was some free publicity for this bow,
Yep.
this new technology,
Absolutely.
this new thing that was
I mean,
gonna,
guys, everything was stick and string before this, literally right here. This is it. This is the first one.
Yep, first one, mid-60s.
First one. Okay.
So he finally sent Sherwood a bow to his office, to the Archery World magazine office.
Yep.
And we took the bow, one like this, to our archery range. We shot it for a while. We were not impressed. And so Sherwood sent the bow to Tom Jennings, who made recurve bows out of California.
Yep.
Tom made the Smithwick Citation recurve. Tom immediately fell in love with the compound.
Okay.
And he bought the first license from Allen.
Okay.
And from there it went to this one.
This was the next one.
This was Tom Jennings' first compound. This was
The first one Tom Jennings made.
late 60s.
Okay. No kidding.
And
I mean, look at the wheels and the pulleys. I mean, we're talking about right now shooting smart technology and, cam leaned for, horizontal knock travel, everything like that. I mean, I don't think we quite had that at this age.
No. So the bow started taking off at that point big in California.
Okay.
It started winning all the tournaments out there. Tom took on a partner. His name was John Williams. Okay. And John was one of the best tournament shooters in the country, and he was winning. And they go to the national tournaments, and these compounds start coming in, and they were winning.
Just take it over the tournament world.
Everybody at that time said, "It's never going to fly."
Oh, it's not gonna stick.
Compound is not going to fly. And
and it keeps going from there.
And from
so from here, just walk us through in a quick jaunt here. What this is basically the evolution of kind of where we more hit the modern age cam wheel and kind of where we slowed down with the progression. Correct?
Right. This was Bear's first compound.
So this is Bear's first one, the company that you were working with at the time and working throughout this adventure.
Jennings was very responsible for a lot of the innovations in compound bows.
Okay.
The first two-wheel compound.
Yep.
The cable guard. Many other things. He innovated a lot of the stuff.
Okay.
Then along came Bear in 1974. By that time, Tom was well on the way, half a dozen years down,
Okay.
and winning all the tournaments. If we had a saying back then, if you weren't shooting at Jennings, you weren't going to win.
We're going to win. Okay. That's cool. Now, you're at a pan, guys. The light's not amazing right now, but we got to talk about this real quick. So I want to talk about this picture right here, Henry. So you have this up here. Walk us through what's happening right here. So I think that's awesome. There's a picture here, guys. We have a broadhead. We have a picture of Henry and Fred Bear sitting together. And you're using a bow similar to this. Walk us through what happened with that experience.
Well, Bear went to the National Field Championships in 73 or 4 and saw the compound was it. So he went home, Fred and his men, and went to work on a compound bow, and that's the one that came up.
And this is the bow that they released?
Okay. When I worked for Bear at the time, we had 18 salesmen covering the United States.
18 across the country?
Across the country. They split us up to 2 9-man teams and had a sales contest.
Yep.
And our sales meeting in September of 1974 was all about the compound.
This is like breaking ground. Yep.
And we had a sales contest, and the winning 9-man team stayed up and hunted with Fred Bear in Grouse Haven, Michigan.
Okay. Grouse Haven, Michigan. Again, guys, if you won the sales contest, 9 guys got a hunt.
Right.
Okay.
So we went with Fred to